Danilo crossed the threshold of his grandfather's old house for the first time. The walls of the corridor were hung with clocks, large, small, cuckoos, and gilded pendulums. They all clicked in unison, creating a heavy, rhythmic hum that vibrated in the chest. The boy squeezed the handle of his suitcase tighter, feeling how thousands of seconds sank into the silence. Grandfather Hrihori met him at the stairs. His face was riddled with wrinkles, like cracks on an old dial. He put his finger to his lips and pointed to the heavy iron-clad oak door at the end of the hall. "Listen carefully, Danilo," he whispered. "Whatever you hear at night, never touch that door. There lives a time that does not want to be counted." Danilo could not sleep that night. At exactly 2 o'clock, the old man's hum of clocks suddenly stopped. There was such absolute silence that the boy heard the beat of his own heart. He looked out from under the blanket and saw that the hands on his desk clock had frozen. The whole world around him seemed to hold his breath, waiting for something terrible. A strange sound came from the depths of the house, not a ticking, but a heavy metal creak, as if someone was dragging a huge chain across the stone floor. Danilo, motivated by curiosity and fear, slipped out of bed. He took a flashlight and slowly walked out into a dark corridor where the motionless pendulums of the clocks resembled guillotines. He stopped in front of the same door that his grandfather had warned him about. A strange, pulsating blue light broke out from under the crack. Every time the light became brighter, Danilo felt a slight dizziness, as if his own memories had been washed out of his head. The door handle was as cold as ice, but he couldn't help but touch it. The door opened by itself. Inside, in a huge hall filled with gears the size of truck wheels, he saw Grandpa Grigory. He was kneeling in front of a mechanism that resembled an empty metal shell of a person. Grigory convulsively turned a huge key inserted into the creature's back, and his hands trembled with tension. "Grandpa," Danilo called, but the sound of his voice was drowned in a sudden rumble. The boy looked at his shadow on the floor and screamed. The shadow lived its own life. It did not repeat his movements, but slowly stretched out, turning into the long, sharp hands of the clock that stretched to Grigory's feet. Suddenly, the mechanical creature slowly turned its head. Instead of a face,